Hello, everyone. Less than 24 hours removed from winning a fifth straight championship with the Indiana Pacers, we are now headed into the 1991 offseason, where there are quite a few potential changes based on whose contracts are up. We'll see what happens. I've gotten through everything up to the NBA draft, so there were some retirements. Nobody, I don't think, made the Hall of Fame. Staff retirements, so Kevin Lowry couldn't be kept because he tried to retire last year, and I saved him, so now he's gone. The Bulls are always awful anyway, so he was kind of stuck there. No Hall of Fame or jersey retirements. The only change was the Magic with their new uniforms and floor. No rule changes. And in the lottery, it turned out it was the Bulls pick that was top 3 protected that I had, so really best case scenario for me because fourth pick wouldn't have done much for me. So they get third, which means I get their 1992 draft pick, which I'm just fully loaded with. I think I have 10. I can go look. It's like 10 or 11 maybe. So they'll get somebody decent with a third pick, but probably not enough to make them a good team, so that'll be a good pick still next year. And then the one pick I have is the 7th through the Jazz. So we'll see if I keep that in the draft. Let me go look while I'm talking about it. Future draft picks here. So I've got the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 1992 first round draft picks. Again, the goal was to be able to get Shaq in the draft. It's getting harder and harder to convince myself that's the right thing to do when Patrick Ewing is just so dominant. He just came off his first MVP season, his second Defensive Player of the Year season, and his third Finals MVP. So he's one of the best ever already. I got through staff signing, did the combine and workouts, and we're ready to go into the draft. So let's go ahead and do that. The consensus is that Larry Johnson will go number 1. We'll see if that happens. Crazy things have happened if you've watched any of the previous off seasons. Very rarely goes the way it's expected. So here we go. First pick is Larry Johnson going to the Knicks, which he did play for them eventually, but not this early. The Bucks go ahead and get Billy Owens, which means the Bulls, I'm guessing either Mutombo or Kenny Anderson. It will be Mutombo in Chicago, so they've got a centerpiece, at least on the defensive side. Pistons get Steve Smith, so he stays in the state of Michigan. Suns get Dale Davis, goes 5th. He was somebody I was considering with the 7th pick. 6th goes Mark Macon, and here are the Pacers, 7th. We do not get any trade offers. Let's go see who's here. At point guard, there is Kenny Anderson, who is projected to go at this pick. One had him going 2nd, so that's why I thought that maybe he would go 3rd. So he's probably the best player available. Stacey Augman's an option as well. No small forwards really at this point. Brian Williams is supposed to go already. The future Bison Dele. And Victor Alexander is the top protected center. So Kenny Anderson is the best player available. I absolutely do not need Kenny Anderson because I have John Stockton and Gary Payton, both 2 of my 3 guys under contract. So Stockton, Payton, and Ewing are technically the only guys under contract, but I also have Rice and Kemp and potentially Avery Johnson once I do their team options. Reggie Miller is a restricted free agent, so we'll be re-signing him. I think everybody else is free to do what they'd like. We'll see what happens. The biggest risk I see is Kellogg because he's been mad at my team for the last season and a half. I'd like him to come back, but it wouldn't be the worst thing if he didn't because Rodman can be my power forward if I re-sign him. And then Glenn Rice could be my starting small forward. Or alternatively, Kemp is already almost as good as Rodman. Kemp could slide into the starting lineup in his third year. So that's an option. We've got a lot of options. I really like re-signing people that way. If I do want to get rid of them, I can trade them and get some value out of them rather than just letting them walk for nothing, which is probably what's going to happen with Petrovic because he hates my team and he was only on a 1-year deal, so I couldn't trade him. I think I'm going to have to do the trade finder on this because I don't see any reason in keeping this pick. Let's see what pops up. There's 2 firsts. It'd be funny to get yet another 92 pick. Marquise Johnson, 35. Eddie, there's 2 firsts as well. The Clippers were in the playoffs and got at least past the first round. I think they lost to the Blazers. Mark Macon, who was just picked, what, 3rd? Oh no, 6th. My bad. And Oakley, Bernard King, he's 34 though. Tyrone in a first. Dawkins and Liberty, Cooper and Johnson, Tripucka, Brad Daugherty. I need a backup center, but Brad Daugherty's a little too good for that role. Dumars, who's never really gotten past that 80 overall mark, although he just had his best year yet. Maybe he'll go up, but at 28, I'm doubting it. There's 2 firsts. The Sonics. I don't remember if they were in the playoffs or not. Might want to look at that. Perkins has already been on my team once. That's my pick. I definitely don't want that. Horace and Wilkins. So we've got the Sixers. Let's see. They were... What pick do they have this year? They're 14th. So they were middle of the pack. I've got to go back through. I hate that it takes you all the way out. So they might be worse. Moses tried to retire. I saved him for another season. And they have Ron Harper. So I would think they'll be even worse unless they make some drastic changes. The other were the Clippers, who again were in the playoffs, so I don't want that. So where's that Supersonics? It is both of their picks. They have the 10th, so they're the 10th worst team this year. They don't have a terrible roster, so I'm surprised they weren't better. But the only guys... So they have Sigma, who's 35 and getting worse. Watley probably isn't going to get any better. McDaniel's probably maxed out at 80. And Tony and English are both free agents and older. So I think this is the way to go. This will give me my 10th 92 pick. And 93, I have 2 already. I have the swap with the Magic and then the Mavericks pick. One last thing I'm going to do is see if let's see if this second of mine changes the offers at all. I'm guessing not. Well, that's interesting. Oh boy. Dikembe Mutombo, the 3rd pick. It takes the 7th and 2 seconds. That's not very realistic. He, I think, started right in real life. He started from the get-go. He was never a backup at the beginning of his career. Wow, I didn't think a second would change that much to offer me Dikembe Mutombo. He wouldn't get to play very much because I wouldn't want him playing next to Ewing, really. Sounds like a logjam in the paint. Dantley's 35. Okay, so that didn't do much. The other thing I could do is my first 94. Does that do anything? Here's Dikembe in a second. Macon and the Kings. I think that Supersonics trade is looking like the best. Oh, there I fall down 3 picks and swap my 94 for their 92. Is that better? I wonder if I then I could trade that 10th pick for something, maybe 2 firsts from somebody. Is that better than trading the 7th for their 92 and 93? I think maybe not, because if there's nobody I really want in this draft, I guess I can go back and look. Is there anybody I'd want to trade down for the 10th pick? Ogman would be a pretty good backup because he doesn't have to score a lot on a team with a lot of scorers. Terrell Brandon's down here, but I don't need point guard. Rick Fox would be okay as some depth on the bench. Looks like a lot of point guards at the top. I think I will just take that Sonics. Just trade the 7th for both of the Sonics picks. We're going to hope that they're not so good in the next 2 years. And then maybe that 94 pick from mine can do something. So the Sonics wanted to get LeBradford Smith. I am going to see, because I think Rick Fox would be good for this team. If Rodman doesn't come back, Fox could even be the backup, but he could at the very least replace Hanslick on the team. So I'm going to go seek out, what was the highest he was going? 11th. Well, I'll let the next couple picks go and make sure he doesn't go. Kenny Anderson goes to the Spurs to join Chris Mullin and Brad Daugherty. Nice trio there. Luke Longley to the Bullets. The Sonics have another pick. They get Ogman. Alright, now I'm going to go see. So that was... So the Rockets are next. Let's go see if the Rockets... Oh, I can't trade it. Wonderful. Okay, well, we got to see who they pick first then. They're trading it for Kelly Tripucka. So 11th and their second next year gets Kelly. The Pistons wanted Brian Williams. Wonderful. So let's go see if the Heat are willing to trade the 12th pick. So that's what I would rather do, is trade my 94. That one. It's not going to work, but let's see what happens. Oh my, no. Okay, so let's cancel that. That doesn't look like that's going to work. See if Fox stays on the board here. Greg Anthony. So let's try the Cavs now. What pick is that? That's Atlanta, who are really good. That wouldn't be a terrible trade. But I want to see how close we are here. 92 second. Will they take my second instead? 93. There we go. All right. So let's get us some Rick Fox. I like Rick Fox because he doesn't have to score a lot and he plays pretty good defense. Not sure what his potential will be here. His ceiling as a starter, which sounds about right. Not looking for him to be a star. Rebounds, can steal, doesn't leap. All right, Rick Fox coming to the Pacers. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and enable Manuel Terrell Brandon to the Sixers, since I don't have any more picks, and I'm not planning on trading in Darrell Armstrong to the Hornets. Stanley Roberts to the Celtics. So Robert Parrish did try to retire. We saved him for another year, so Roberts might be his eventual replacement. Doug Smith to the Mavericks. Victor Alexander in Orlando. Chris Gatling to Minnesota. Isaac Austin to the Heat, where he actually played. Bobby Phills joins the Lakers. Robert Pack to the Warriors. We have a trade for the 23rd pick. 23rd and 2nd for Gerald Wilkins. So Minnesota gets rid of Wilkins to draft Elliot Perry and his knee-high socks. The first fake guy goes 24th to the Suns. Pete Chilcutt to the Blazers. Fake guy Eric Murdoch to the Nuggets. That's the end of the first. I'm not sure how many more people there will be. Dumas to the Bulls. Fake. Randy Brown goes to Detroit. John Crotty, who for some reason has a real picture here, goes to the Spurs. Gorkiani to the Kings. Rodney Monroe to the Bullets. That might be it. Nope, Larry Stewart to the Sixers. Who else? Caleb to the Mavericks. Is that all for the real people? Nope, Kevin Lynch to the Nets. Corey Crowder to the Hawks, so he almost didn't get drafted. And there we go. So there's the top of the draft. Larry Johnson, the Knicks. Billy Owens, Bucks. Mutombo, Bulls. Surprise for me was Dale Davis. I'm not sure what he was projected at, but I didn't think it was 5th. Kenny Anderson fell a little bit. If I didn't have the point guard position covered, I definitely would have used the 7th pick on him. Instead, the Sonics traded to get LaBradford Smith. So they get Love, Bradford, and Augman. So the UNLV guys went 1st to the Knicks, 10th to the Sonics, and 12th to the Heat. Let's go ahead and sign up Rick Fox here, who's not going to be number 14. We'll leave it for now. Player options. I'm going to go ahead and keep Avery. He's a good 3rd point guard. And again, if it comes to it, I could trade him if I find somebody else. Rice and Kemp definitely staying on the team. See who declines. Sidney Moncrief, Kiki Vandeweghe, and Andrew Toney all decline their player options. So they will become free agents. Mitch Richmond, the Nets decided not to keep him, at least for that contract, so he becomes a free agent in his 4th season after averaging 20 points pretty much every year. Sean Elliott also declined. He was the number 1 pick 2 years ago. There's some weird things that happen on here. Chris Morris, Rod Strickland, the point guard for the Heat, he was declined. He's had a pretty solid run so far. So we'll see. Some of these guys end up going back to their former teams, just on different contracts. It's really funny when they go back to their former teams on larger, like at a higher salary. Doesn't make a lot of sense why they would decline it, but whatever. It's 2K. Qualifying offers. Well, yes, Reggie Miller. I don't think we're going to do it for Sally or Chucky. We got John Sally in the trade where we got rid of AC Green. And I think we got a 1st-round pick out of that. So Sally was a suitable extra big guy in the rotation. He never really was needed. Chucky Brown is who I signed after I traded somebody else, Divock. So I traded Divock to the Spurs, which freed up a roster spot. Chucky Brown played in 2 games, 1 minute. I don't think I need either of them. I can probably get them for the minimum anyway. So let's go forward. Alright, so I don't remember if I shared this on the last offseason, but what I learned after reading online, I don't know if it's true or not, but I was trying to figure out how the heck do you give your restricted free agents actual contracts without them always being matched by the qualifying offer. And what I read was you have to wait until after the moratorium to be able to do that. So you pretty much just wait for another team to sign them if it's in these first 3 days, and you match it if you want them for more than 1 year. Or if the 3 days go past and they don't accept another offer from another team, you do have the ability to give them a real contract from your own team. So I totally agree with the first part of that, is letting another team agree to a contract, then we can match it. I'm not so sure that the second part. I don't know why it would be any different after the moratorium for that, but maybe it is. So we'll see what happens. Nobody's going to want Reggie Miller until Clyde Drexler's off the board anyway. Be really interested in if he goes to another team after being to 4 straight finals with the Blazers. He's paired with Hakeem Olajuwon, so it's probably the best case for him. Who else is getting offers? Sleepy Floyd, who the Jazz traded the number 2 pick for last year, for whatever reason, is a free agent. And they are not trying to bring him back. That's pretty funny. The Knicks and Bucks, who just had the first and second picks, are trying to get a point guard. James Worthy. So after spending the last 4 years in Denver, bailing on LA, he's potentially going back to LA. And the Nuggets are not even on this list trying to get him back. We'll see. Kiki, also on the Nuggets currently, is looking at a contract with the Bullets. Clark Kellogg is the top power forward, so I'm going to have to give him an offer he can't refuse. The Cavs are trying to steal him away. We also have Larry Nance down here, potentially going to the Bulls, and Banks to the Spurs, and David Robinson, who is restricted, so I would hope that the Nets will match anything. But crazy things have happened. Michael Jordan, and when he was a free agent, did not get matched by the Bulls who drafted him. That's why he's on the Miami Heat now. So the Nuggets are trying to get David Robinson. They have all this money because Worthy and Vandeweghe are not under contract, which is probably why they're also not offering them contracts, because they're trying to give all their money to the Admiral. And the Jazz are trying to get him as well. Okay, so what I need to do, I'm going to leave Reggie alone because I'll just match anything he gets. I need to get Clark Kellogg, potentially. So 4 years for 12.42 is the top. I'm going to go ahead and see, let's see what that is. I might have to use some math here to find out what 12.42, let's just try this and see what it's at. That's 12.04. Let's try this. Seems like a lot of money to pay him, but he's been, so there's 12.48. He's been key part to this dynasty run here. Yes, he's my third option offensively behind Ewing and Reggie. I would like to give him a 4-year deal. That's a lot. Till he's 34. I do want to potentially keep him till he retires. I think it'd be cool if he spends his whole time in Indiana. I think we're going to try that. It's more than other teams are able to offer him, or what they are offering him, and that's at 100. Let's do one more. Okay, we're going to try that. It says 100, even though he was mad at my team. Maybe once he turns 30, he won't think he deserves so many touches. I don't know. All right, who else do I have bird rights to? So Reggie's there. Rodman is the other thing. He's like perfect in the sense that he doesn't need a lot of shots, and he gets rebounds and defends. He made an all-defensive team for the first time. It's about time we change him to a power forward, probably. He's not shooting a great percentage. Let's see. He doesn't want that much money at all. It's funny that he's like the same age as Kellogg. 1.32. So I think let's just take it down wherever it would be. So that would be a pretty good. I wonder if I can do flat, something like that, and then we'll see if somebody tries to cut in. Again, might be an option of trading him at some point, but he's just a really good piece because he doesn't have to score. He liked that at 91, so hopefully he gets it, or he accepts it. I think I'm going to let Drazen go. It's the first time in a while I've let somebody just go in free agency. He still has B potential, but he hasn't had a chance to break the rotation. I don't see him playing more if I bring him back because Gary Payton needs more minutes and he can play some shooting guard along with John Stockton. Let me go see what my team looks like right now. So that's it. I got 7 people. My starting point guard, my starting center. We got Kellogg, Rodman, and Reggie are my other 3 starters. Rice, Kemp, and Payton are my main backups. So I don't really need any more big-time rotation players. A backup center and a backup shooting guard would be the next priorities, but they wouldn't be playing big minutes. Oops. So let's see who's there. I'm guessing I can't offer anybody any money. No, it's all minimum because I'm like at the cap. So let's see. We've got Manute Bowl down here who won't take the minimum. Looks like Herb might. Eaton might. I'm also thinking of people with badges that can help mentor as usual. James Edwards was on my team last year. Maybe somebody in the power forward list. Rick Mahorn's down here. He was on my team at some point, I think. Yep, 3 years ago. So he won a championship as well. John Sally has 3 offers. It's going to show me. The Sonics are one of them. Well, we'll let him go, I think. Nobody really blown me away there. I feel like Mark Eaton might be a good. He will take the minimum. He shoots a terrible percentage. He probably can't move at all, but he rebounds and he blocks shots. Interior's 92, blocks 96. His rebounds aren't great, but for a 34-year-old, I'll take it. Consistency 97. He's strong. He still has a little bit of stamina. So I think Mark Eaton is going to come be a mentor on this team. He absolutely does not want a second year. So Mark Eaton. So that's my 3rd offer. I guess I could have looked at shooting guards, but don't know who would be willing. Mitchell Wiggins would take. Danny Ainge would take the minimum. We'll look at that here in a bit. All right, so Chucky Brown, John Sally, I don't want to extend those. Eaton, Rodman, Kellogg, all agree. So beautiful. We are renouncing Hanslick, Edwards, Brown, Sally, probably. I guess I'll keep Sally, maybe. No. That's okay. He'll probably take the minimum if I want him to. Now let's go see if Reggie's getting offers yet. Doesn't look like it. Now everybody's going after Moncrief. He's been with the Hawks. Oh my God, he's 100 at like everybody. For everybody. The Hawks are at the top. Blackman's maybe going back to Dallas. Sleepy Floyd still didn't agree to a contract with anybody. Now the Jazz are trying to get him back. Kiki, looks like maybe the Nuggets didn't succeed at getting David Robinson, so trying to get him. Hopefully the Suns keep Pippen. Kevin Willis, who got hurt, therefore the Lakers got kicked out of the playoffs pretty early. Looks like he's not going back to LA. Sam Bowie's at the top for the Rockets. I'm curious. So Robinson, yes, got matched by the Nets. Drexler went back to the Blazers. Worthy did go to the Lakers. So Magic and Worthy are reunited. John Paxson goes to Boston. Interesting. Alright, so now I need a backup shooting guard. We got Hornacek, will not take the minimum. Ainge, Reynolds, Del Curry could be interesting. He's similar, I mean, shooting-wise to Rice and Reggie, getting up all the threes. Mario Ellie. Trying to think of people that don't really need to shoot all that much. So Del Curry probably wouldn't be a great fit. Kevin Gamble. Oh, he probably wouldn't even take the minimum. Hanslick's there again. Reggie Lewis. Could bring in Mike Sanders, who I'll just always remember from two finals ago when he made the buzzer beater to win game 5 of the finals? Something like that. Any point guards that will play shooting guard for me? Brad Davis, he's 35. KJ's down here. Mo Cheeks. Mookie, unfortunately, is his potential gone? It's only a C+. I don't understand why. I mean, he has good stats. He's played well. He's not shooting well. But he played 36 and 32 minutes. You think he'd be improving? So Mario Ellie was an option. He's 28. He didn't play much. He's good at threes. Does he play defense? Not really. 71. Doesn't really steal. He's not laterally quick. He's not fast. Okay, well, that wasn't a great rundown of things. Vinny Del Negro. Maybe I do just get Del Curry. Let's do it. Looks like he doesn't really have to play. He only played 9 minutes last year for the Hawks. He missed the first couple of years because he just sat on the free agent list. Nobody signed him. I'm going to eventually need a third center, I suppose. Consider that. That's where John Sally could still be an option. Chris Dudley. Will Purdue was already on my team for a couple years. We have already got an older guy, so we don't need another one. Hot Rod. He's real close. I would want him to play, though. So let's see if Sally... I know it says 100 for the Sonics, but he might come back for the minimum for me. Sally. And then let's go ahead and do Del Curry. So he's kind of replacing the Drazen role, although he's 7 worse. I already have 3 point guards. I guess I think we'll just advance here and see what happens. Clark, Rodman, Eaton, Sally, Curry. So everybody accepts. I don't want any of these guys. So we did get Sally away from the Sonics offer. Reggie does now have an offer. So, oh well, he's not going to accept that one. It's a minimum from Dallas. Okay. Bowie still 60 with the Rockets. Otis Thorpe potentially going to the Heat or Magic after being the best player on the Bucks. Oops, went a little too far there. Purvis Short, Nuggets, Warriors, Sonics. So they're potentially replacing James Worthy with Short. Pippen now has an offer, but the Spurs are lowballing him. Andrew Toney getting a bunch of offers. Muggsy, who's been on the Knicks. Yeah. is now potentially going to the Pistons. Valentine, who's been the Blazers' sixth man forever, is potentially replacing Sleepy Floyd on the Jazz, unless they got Floyd back. Nope, Floyd went to the Knicks. So a little rotation there. English goes to the Suns, where Purvis Short has been. Kiki did sign with the Bullets. So the Nuggets lost both of their best players. Hopefully I have their draft pick. Willis went to the Heat. That's kind of funny. Mahorn to the Bulls. Okay. Some of this can be a surprise later, I guess. I'm going to, I think, go ahead and advance another day. Although first I think I want to get rid of Hanslick, get rid of Chucky, and then we'll see. Alright, so we're good on point guard. We've got Reggie and Curry right now at shooting guard. Offers small forward, we're bringing back Rodman. Power forward, Kellogg and Sally. Center is Eaton. So we will need another big guy eventually to replace... who did I just get rid of the cap hold? This doesn't matter, but got to get somebody here. Could be a center, could be a power forward. Maybe somebody that plays both, like Carl Herrera. Antoine Carr. Was he on my team at some point? Yes, I got him and traded him. Probably because it was a first-round pick. Mark Bryant wouldn't be bad. I think Mark Bryant. See his attributes here. Shot a decent percentage. Oops. He's not going to be much of an offensive player, that's fine. He's decent at defense, doesn't really block, but he's a good rebounder. So let's give Mark Bryant a chance here. He was a second round pick. Minimum offer. Eventually I'll need a third shooting guard. Oh, it's so hard not to just... Since I can go over for him, it's so hard not to get him. Maybe I do. Maybe I give him a contract and then I trade him when he either isn't good or I don't find a place for him. Let's do it. Let's do a 2-year deal. Something like that. Let's do that. Alright. Sally, I don't know why he's on there twice, but he is. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Well, I can't do it, can I? So he technically, oh my gosh, I'm going to get him for this 553 probably, because I didn't give him a qualifying offer because I didn't rescind his, or I didn't take away his cap hold. Oh, can I still do that? No. Whatever. I guess it's just a couple $100,000. All right, Kellogg, Rodman, Eaton, Sally, Reggie's still over here. Sounds good to me. All right, so now at the top, Reggie still doesn't have an offer, so I guess I go ahead and try. I don't know, I'm kind of afraid, because if I give him an offer for, let's say, 4 or 5 years, and the same thing happens as before, and he ends up somehow matching the qualifying offer, it'd be really silly. Lakers are trying to get Thorpe to replace Willis. It'd be interesting. Pippen, now getting offers from everybody except the Suns. So the Suns must have signed somebody. Tony getting offers still. Byron Scott, it'd be funny if he went back to the Lakers too. He left at the same time Worthy did 4 years ago. He stayed in LA, but with the other team. Now Jazz are back in the running for Sleepy Floyd. Do I give him an offer? I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to match whatever he gets. Let's see. My team. Did they give Sally the stupid 500,000? Yep, they sure did. Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So Reggie will be my 15th player. He needs to be. So he slides into starting shooting guard. We got 3 small forwards, and Sally or Bryant. One of them is kind of my third center. Eden's probably going to go down 2 or 3. Didn't think about that. So he might not even be my backup. Might be one of these guys. Alright, so we're just waiting on Reggie. Now he has an offer, but it's again for a minimum. The Rockets. Byron Scott possibly going back to the Clippers or to the Suns, replacing Scottie Pippen. Where's Woolridge going? He's been on the Hornets, and they're not offering him. Reggie now has 8 offers, so 3 years for 6.17. That doesn't seem like a lot. Does he still not have... He's a B+ potential. Mitch Richmond doesn't have an offer yet. Jim Paxson to the Suns. Sean Elliott potentially to Minnesota. So 3 years, 6.17. I guess we'll just be ready to match that. I'd rather get him for 5 years, but I'm afraid it won't work. I'd rather not test it on somebody like Reggie Miller. Okay, we've matched him. Perfect. Boom. Alright, now the team should be full. 3 point guards, 3 shooting guards, 3 small forwards, and 6 big guys. Beautiful. We still got some youth here. Got a couple veterans. Signed Mark Eaton to pretty much replace James Edwards. Alright. Richmond has some offers now. Not good ones, though. Is there anybody I'd want to consider trading? I don't think so. I could trade Avery Johnson, or that's about it. Guessing he won't get me much. That's a first round pick, though. Wow. Did not expect that. That's my pick, or the Magic pick for 2. The Kings first round pick. Why wouldn't I just do this? Get a first round for Avery. He's not playing. And then I could sign somebody who could be my third point guard for the minimum. Not Kevin Johnson. Mo Cheeks could be helpful. Not Mookie. Hopefully these guys still end up getting signed. Steve Kerr would be kind of fun. Alright, let's just take whatever pick seems best. He's not really played much. I don't really see a way for him to play. In the few games he played there at the end of the season, he shot terribly, 1 for 6. He gets lots of assists when he plays for 36, but I feel kind of bad. Hopefully if he goes to another team, he can play more than 13 games in 3 years. The other thing I could try is that first round pick I have of mine. Oh no, I traded that for Fox. That's right. What am I doing? Trade. Johnson. Go. Alright, the Sixers. Lottery protected, so that would maybe be in 93 if they make the playoffs. Or if they don't make the playoffs, I mean. Bucks top 5. They have been terrible pretty much this whole time. The Jazz 94 and 95, but it's trading the Magic, who have been in the playoffs. They're one of the best teams in the East because of Wilkins and Hardaway. That's the Warriors and Jazz picks. The Kings 94. I'm not sure. There who had Sean Elliott, and they just lost him. I'm pretty sure he was their best player. The Knicks have been bad, but they just got Larry Johnson. The Mavs were in the playoffs. Nuggets, Pistons just traded Trapuka. They've had like nobody. That might be the best one. Suns top 10. Let's see who's on the Pistons. They've not signed really anybody, so I think this is probably the best bet. We'll see if I can get anything else out of them. Swap best, no thanks. No. Let's just do that straight up. Oh, or not. They won't do what they originally said, which is always wonderful. Pistons. Or should I even look at who's on the Nuggets? Let's see. They haven't signed anybody yet. They lost Worthy and Vandaway and haven't signed anybody. Oh boy. So they could be really bad. Well, they did get Jeff Rulin, but he's getting older and isn't super good. That's an option. They're also giving a second. The Mavericks have Mark McGuire still, so that shouldn't be an option. He's 90 overall. The Knicks just drafted Johnson. The Kings. Oh boy, yep, I'm taking this one. Unless they spend their money on whoever's the best free agent left. Wow, it's really bad. Alrighty. And will they give me anything else? I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I can sign a third point guard, which I was considering Mo Cheeks maybe. Michael Adams would be interesting. He's a big-time scorer, which isn't exactly what my team needs. I need more like a Nate McMillan, but he's already been on my team and really struggles with his shot. Steve Kerr is who I was looking at. Let's do Steve Kerr. Beautiful. Got my third trade exception now. Make sure Kerr's not going anywhere. Nope. Who's at the top of the list now? Jeff Malone. Probably going back to the Bullets. Seasting also maybe to the Bullets. Theist, who I think was on the Hornets already. Nope. Sonics. Cage. Wolves or Suns. Monute Bowl. Cavs probably. Derek McKee's getting all sorts of offers. What team is he on? Timberwolves, so looks like he's probably going back. Okay, where's Kerr? Went the wrong way. Still good. Can you accept Steve, please? There we go. Steve Kerr is on the Pacers, so he replaces Avery, and now we've got a full team again. Beautiful. Signed a couple sharpshooters in Curry and Kerr. Now let's go ahead and get through here. Mark Jackson doesn't have any offers yet. Now he does. Pooh, Timberwolves or Bulls. Kevin Johnson to the Knicks probably. Almost the whole top of the list is point guards other than Brad Sellers. Alright, let's take a look at progression here. So after winning MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP, Ewing stays put at 90. Gary Payton went up 4 though. Oh my. Reggie did not move. That's unfortunate. He just averaged 23 points a game. Pretty sure he should go up, but whatever. Kemp went up 3, so now he's also better than Rodman. Kemp and Rice have passed Rodman. It still seems like Rodman should be the starter, though, because he doesn't score. He won't take away shots from Ewing, Reggie, or Kellogg, who thankfully didn't go down. I thought Kellogg would go down. What did people move in? Ewing went up in some things, down in all of his physical things. Stockton got a little slower, but better at defense. Kellogg up at shooting, but slower. Gary Payton looks like he went up in just about everything. His lateral quickness is already 99. Holy moly, is he fast. 94, 92. He's up in rebounding. Perimeter D is now at 95. He's definitely going to have more minutes. Be hard not to go 8-man. Did Reggie move in anything? Went down in drawing foul, even though he led the league in that. Shot IQ went up. Okay, so he did go up in more things than down. Rice, Kemp, Rodman, what did he change at? He's almost perfect at rebounding. He went up 1 in his perimeter D is more than his interior D. Shot IQ went up a little bit. Hopefully that helps him not shoot 42%. Drazen didn't move, so maybe another reason to potentially trade him. Sally. How much did Eaton? Eaton went down 1? No, down 2. He might still be technically my backup center. Let's see what happened across the league now. So the Pistons, the pick I almost traded for, they didn't get anybody at the top. They did get Johnny Dawkins from the Knicks, but Bill Laimbeer continues to be their best player. Somehow Brian Williams has a sore knee. He literally just got drafted. He has a sore knee from walking up on the stage, I guess. Oh, Isaiah went down 1. That team looks the same other than they traded for Trapuka. So they still have, wow, they have 7 guys over 80. I feel like they already did, but maybe somebody is now off the list, or off the team, I mean. Mullen went down 1 after averaging 27 points a game. That doesn't make sense. Divac, after being traded by the Pacers, went up 3. They drafted Kenny Anderson to be their point guard. Got Wingate. Suns replaced Short with English, like I said. Jim Paxson came from Philly. They lost Pippen, so that's not a great-looking team still. Pippen goes over to Seattle. So he switched with English, pretty much. Could have been like a sign-and-trade type deal. So Pippen becomes the new small forward here. Blazers look generally the same, except Darnell Valentine's not on this list. Olajuwon and Drexler stay put. Purvis Short back to Golden State after leaving several years ago. Last 4 with the Hawks. So they continue to just have everybody in the front court as their good players and not prioritizing the back court. The Heat did add Kevin Willis to help out Michael Jordan. We'll see what that does. Hopefully not making Michael Jordan score even less, because he's been stuck at 22 points ever since he left Chicago. I don't know if it's their playbook or what. Hornets are awful. Rodney McRae comes over from LA. This is a really bad looking team. Like John Stark's going to end up averaging like 25 points. Magic add Alvin Robertson, so they continue to add pieces. They also got Thurl Bailey from the Lakers. That's a pretty decent starting lineup right there. Ronnie Cycli still getting almost a double-double. For the Timberwolves, they did get McKee back. They ended up stealing Tony from the Sonics. who went down 3. Smits is now up to an 85 overall. Sixers, Moses goes down 3. They get Woolridge, who's 32 years old now. So they lost Paxson. They don't have a point guard. Well, they drafted Terrell Brandon. I guess he's going to do it. Bucks only have 7 players, so hopefully they sign some real people off the free agent list. I don't know why they don't use the money they obviously have to sign the good people. So they have the 3rd pick from 89 and now the 2nd pick from 91. Meanwhile, the 16th from 90. So some young pieces, but not looking good. Bullets at Kiki to hopefully help Barkley. Barkley stays at 85. His points went down, but his rebounds went up. Jeff Malone is becoming bad quickly. He's down to a 76. Dennis Scott and Larry Nance and Dikembe Mutombo. So really good defense here from Nance and Mutombo. 3D's a shooter. They're lacking a shooting guard. Right now it's Kevin Lynch. Hopefully they sign somebody. Either that or they start Johnson and Scott together. Cavs, they signed Valentine to be their point guard and Bull to be, I guess, their backup center to Cartwright. Gill went up 3. Celtics, they got Stanley Roberts, right? Yeah, they drafted him. Parrish goes down 4. Bird goes down 3. McHale down 1. They got John Paxson to be their point guard now. Carmelo still doesn't go up. Stuck at an 82, but they did sign Sean Elliott and kept Byron Scott. I don't see a point guard. Who the heck is their point guard? Is it Byron Scott or Randy Brown? Hawks got Moncrief back. Not really any changes here, I don't think. Sleepy Floyd back to the Jazz. Abdul-Rauf goes up 4, so this was the pick I traded Avery Johnson for, who did go up 3. He's now tied for their 3rd best player. They don't have a center. I guess it's probably Jason Williams. They've got a fake guy down here. A couple fake guys. They also don't have a small forward. Got some not so great guys down there. Knicks, so they drafted Larry Johnson, number 1 pick. They kept Muggsy Bogues somehow. I thought he was going somewhere else, but Bogues and LJ together is kind of fun. They did get Kevin Johnson. Not looking like a good team there. Lakers get Worthy and Thorpe and Alton Lister, who they traded for last year. Their starting shooting guard has always been their weak spot. And it's Bobby Phills right now, it looks like. They drafted Phills and Monroe. But Carter is still playing. Wow. We had him for the first 3 years of this before trading him. He was a good rotation player. Mavericks are looking pretty much the same as before. Nets, Robinson went up 1. They did get Mitch Richmond back. I'd be curious to know if it's for less money than what his team option would have been. Might be. Richmond went down 1. He averaged 20 points on 50% shooting, 35 from downtown. He's 26 years old and went down 1. I don't get it. Nuggets are real bad. Really, really bad. I'll have to go see whose picks I have. Vance. Skip the Summer League. We got to look up where the 92... Okay, well, Jay Murphy's evidently on my Summer League team. Where the 92 All-Star game was... NBA All-Star game hosted in Orlando. So, it's not going to be in Miami. It's going to be in another part of the state. Orlando. Continue. we are going to load the 92, which is uploaded by me, almost 1,400 downloads. Let's see how the guys do. Shaq, Jackson, Morning all had crazy amount of points. We got Leitner, Weatherspoon, LaFonso, Day, Gugliotta, Lee Mayberry, Hubert Davis, Walt Williams, Anthony Peeler, and Adam Keefe. So neat collection here on the USA side. On the world side, are any of these people real? I don't think so. So because I already edited the class, none of the people are randomly in the world designation. So let's advance. Oh, so we've now officially passed into the 90s era. I didn't realize that was a thing. I thought it only did this when you started a certain era. So this is where the 91-92 starts. So we've got the Raptors and Grizzlies joining soon. We got some rule changes coming, some rebranding. Cool. All right. So I'm curious. Well, it's not going to show until we simulate some, but let's go see what teams I have. Because I have like all of them, it seems. Got like 10 of them. Bulls, Hawks, Jazz, Knicks, Mavs, Nuggets, Pistons, Rockets, Spurs, and Sonics. Some of these, the Nuggets I do have. I think they're going to be the worst team in the league. Let's just do a quick run through here. There's my team. Pacers are looking good. I'm going to do a quick adjustment here on jerseys. 53, 44, 41, 40. I think he was 2 most of his career. But he can't be because I have Gary Payton, who's now going to switch to 20 because Del Curry cannot be 20. Let's do that. 33, 31, 22. 30 is retired. Oh, 35, sure. 44 he can't be because of Petrovic, so let's do his Lakers number 17. 10, 6, 4, sure. Alright. Let's see. The Pistons were on that list, I believe, of picks I have. So that looks like a good one. Rockets, I think I do have, but that's not going to be a good one. The Sonics I have, they don't look amazing, although they did get Scottie Pippen. Magic, I think. But the most exciting part, Sixers don't look very good anymore, were the Bulls, who are terrible, although they did get Mutombo. The Jazz, pretty terrible. Did I say Kings? And definitely the Nuggets. Let's do it this way. Jazz, the Hawks are pretty good. Mavs. Yeah, the Rockets isn't a very good pick to have, but holy moly, we have a good chance of getting Shaquille O'Neal, but then I have a decision to make of what the heck do we do with Patrick Ewing. I think, what else can we look at? Are there any injuries pending? Burkowski's still got his spinal injury he's recovering from. We can look at power rankings and see the Pacers and Blazers and Lakers are at the top as usual. Pacers are still locked in third on that one. It does show, so Bulls and Nuggets and Pistons all down here near the bottom. The 92 class is coming in. So here's the list. We got Shaq and Morning at the top. Really the only 2 big stars here. Trade Ewing. Yeah. I'm a huge Shaq fan, so that's probably what's going to happen. But Ewing, I don't know if you've if you've realized, he's been amazing. So he just got an MVP. We're coming off 5 finals, 5-time All-Star, All-NBA first team. He just got Defensive Player of the Year for the second time. So he's a bad man. But yeah, it's hard to pass up a 20-year-old Shaq instead of a 30-year-old Ewing. So that's where I will stop. We'll get back in to simulating next time to do at least the first half of the 91-92 season. We'll see how things go. I might be looking to do some trades at the deadline, like Petrovic, potentially Rodman, who knows. Get my rotation set, things like that. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, Shushack Redemption out.